UFC Qatar, Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan the Handman Hooker. I'm here to provide you my full picks and predictions from the start of the card all the way down to the last fight of the night. I mean, what a year it has been. I think we're down to 3 cards left, and we're just being fed great matchups. I think that even though there's not a lot of name value on this card, there's some bangers. Not even just in the main card, but in the prelims as well. Just a reminder, these fights do start early, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the main card, 1 p.m. 14 fights. We had a change in one of the main card fights that we'll talk about, so had to, watch them film a little bit more. But we're here now. 9-5 last week. Was 9-3 up until the last 2 fights, and then was horrible. So looking to bounce back here, 14 fights. Would love a 10-4 or better. And no better way to start it than with the main event. Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker. Now, Hooker is going to be significantly taller. I mean, he's going to be, 5 inches taller. I have a 2.5-inch reach advantage, 3-inch leg reach advantage. I mean, obviously, in my opinion, probably an advantage for Arman because he's going to be looking to take Dan Hooker down. Now, Dan has some pretty solid takedown defense, 78%. I mean, once you're in that 70% threshold, I mean, you're doing something right. He's on a 3-fight win streak, beat Puelles, beat Jalen Turner, and Gamrot. I mean, 2 split decisions straight. I don't think the Gamrot one probably should have been split decision, and also I feel like Jalen Turner probably won that other one, but he did enough towards the end of the third, or somewhere around that third round. He just started to do enough. And he's just been riding high. And then we have Arman, who was supposed to fight for the belt, on a 4-fight win streak. Still, obviously, last one was a split against Charles Oliveira. Ultimately just did just enough as well. Then he hurt his back before fighting Islam. Was very stupid. But this is one of the easiest matchups, in my opinion, for him. I mean, he still is a pretty good striker. We saw him hold his own in a lot of matchups. And obviously, Dan is going to try to keep it at range. He's not going to want to get taken down. He's going to have a lot of chances to crack Arman as well. He doesn't have the best head movement, but once he's on you, he's going to stick. He has great entries, one of the best entries in the division, if not, honestly, at this point, with Islam not there, I reckon he can probably take down most people in this division, if not everyone. And Dan's included here. I think that he's probably going to be able to take him down early, somewhere in the second and third, and might even find a choke. If not, probably wins 3-2 at the very least. I like Arman in this spot. I think he's number 1 contender, and I think it's probably the hardest fight for Ilya, so Ilya probably nukes him as well. Now, the odds right now, Arman Tsarukyan is minus 530. Rightfully so, he should be the favorite. Now dropped to 650. I should probably refresh this now. He's now minus 650. Money's coming in on him. Obviously, not even worth a parlay piece if you'd like that. Would rather just take sub decision. Probably get a better price. He's not going to knock out Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker has been hit with far worse than whatever Arman can provide. So sub decision should probably bring it to minus 200 or maybe even better. So that's probably how I would take this fight. But give me Arman Tsarukyan to win by submission or decision. Next fight, Belal Muhammad versus Ian Machado Garry. Now, Ian Garry is going to be 3 inches taller, or 4 inches taller, sorry. He's going to have the 2.5-inch reach advantage, 2-inch leg reach advantage. Another one, I mean, stylistically, I guess you could say pretty similar to the main event. It's just Gary's obviously an elite striker with pretty damn good takedown defense as well. And then we have Belal, whose last fight was his championship loss in May. Yes, in May against JDM. Obviously, change of the guard now to Islam, and he's fighting Ian Garry, almost maybe potentially for a number 1 contender spot for Ian Garry. I think Belal probably needs 2 in order to get a title shot back. But this is a solid matchup for him, I would say. On the feet, Ian Garry, obviously the better fighter, better striker. He's going to be using a lot of calf kicks early, just trying to chop at the legs, just so that Belal's just thinking of the leg kicks. And also just, I mean, if he's beating up the leg early, Belal's takedowns just aren't going to be as strong. They're not going to be as strong, and I think that's going to be a pivotal role in Garry winning this, most likely by decision. We've seen Belal cracked. It's been a while, but we've seen him cracked before. And if there's someone to do it, it's someone like Ian Garry, who is in his prime. I mean, I was going to say the kid, but Ian, I believe, is 28. He's 28. He just turned 28 3 days ago. He just turned 28 3 days ago. He's only had one loss against Shavkat, beat Carlos Prates for 23.5 minutes. Ian Garry right now is minus 290. Decent spot. I know people are saying they're counting Belal's being counted out. Gary's in his prime. I think he gets this win. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get the number one contender spot, though, but they can still give it to him because of his name value. Hate him or love him, that's the point. So, give me Ian Garry to win by TKO or decision. Next fight, Volkan Oezdemir versus Alonzo Menifield. Oezdemir's going to be 2 inches taller, but Alonzo Menifield's going to have the 1 inch reach advantage, half-inch leg reach advantage. So nothing too crazy except the 2 inches in terms of height. Oezdemir, right now, is 2 out of his last 3. He did lose his last one to Carlos Ulberg, but he finished Johnny Walker before that and Bogdan Guskov. Now, that was Guskov's debut fight, and it was very short notice, but he still was able to pull it off. He had hurt Oezdemir a little early and then just kind of gassed out, gave up his back, and got choked out. He kind of showed that there was levels to this. And then we have Alonzo Menifield, who's on a 2-fight win streak. He beat Julius Walker by split, and it was kind of a nasty one, to be honest. They just were super gassed out. Julius Walker, I mean, he held his own up until the end. I thought he won that fight, to be honest, but it is what it is because, they gave him a tough fight right after in Umar Sy, and he beat Umar Sy easily. I mean, Umar Sy couldn't get any offense on him at all, couldn't get takedowns, looked gassed out. And that wasn't just Umar Sy's part. Menifield was doing a lot of good things, He's 38. He has a lot of power in his hands. I think that could be scary for someone against like Oezdemir, who's also older now, and he does get chinned very easily. Now, after that first round, I do side with Oezdemir. I think he's the better fighter. I think he's way more well-rounded. The line is the way it is because of that Sy win. But matchups make fights. Now, Oezdemir right now is minus 250. Decent. Don't love that, to be honest. Don't love that. But I do think that he gets it done. So give me Volkan Oezdemir to win by TKO or decision. Next up, Jack Hermansson versus Myktybek Orolbai. Now, Jack Hermansson is coming down in weight from 185 to 170 now. He's going to be 2 inches taller, 3.5 inch reach advantage, and a 7-inch leg reach advantage. I mean, the leg reach advantage is insane. But I would feel better if it was a 7.5 inch arm reach advantage rather than legs. Because if we're being honest with you, I mean, if anything, that's kind of just going to give Orolbai, who's the smaller fighter, an advantage. Jack does get taken down a lot, and Orolbai does his best work on the ground. We've seen it against multiple opponents, including his last win, where he did come in fat. So it is a problem. It is a problem. Hopefully he doesn't come in fat here. Listen, Jack Hermansson is super tough. He's going to look like the bigger fighter in here, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be the better one. I think Orolbai standing is still going to be better. I don't really like Jack's striking, to be honest. As we know, he does his best work on the ground. We've seen it countless times, like against Joe Pyfer. I just don't know if it's going to be enough against someone like Orolbai, who's lost only one fight in the UFC so far, and it was an absolute war against Mateusz Rumbeski. 3-1 in the UFC, won by Kimura in his last one, but put on a war, even won a fight of the night with Rumbeski. But 3-1, I mean, he looks really good, honestly. Orolbai right now, minus 260. Not my favorite price either. Don't worry, the dogs will come. Not my favorite price, but honestly one of my favorite. If there were to be someone that you'd want to put in a 2-3 legger, I think Orolbai is one of the ones. I know people are going to go with Jack because of the experience. I mean, I don't know if the weight cut's going to be better. Obviously, Orolbai is not a RoboCop. He's not going to have the same power. He's not going to just chin you easily. But I think Orolbai is the better fighter at this point. So give me Myktybek Orolbai to win by decision. Next up, Sergey Spivak versus... So this is the one. So Spivak is not fighting anymore, and it's going to be Salsa Boy. Now, Salsa Boy is, I believe, also 6'4", 78 inch reach. So Gaziev is going to have the half-inch reach advantage. We don't really know the leg reach advantage. This is going to be a fun fight. And I'll be honest with you, I was leaning towards Gaziev on this fight. I think that, Spivak probably gets chinned here. Gaziev has a lot of power. He'll be able to take him down. I mean, I think he would have hurt Spivak, but I think this is a completely different fight with Salsa Boy, to be honest. Salsa Boy, who just picked up a knockout win, 2-3 weeks ago, has really good takedown defense, probably better striking, not as much power, I would say, maybe as Gaziev, but Gaziev is going, actually, nah. Salsa Boy definitely has more power. He just plays it safe sometimes, so hopefully he doesn't hear, because Gaziev is going to try to pressure him a lot and he's going to be flowing shots, literally throwing shots at him just so he can push him to the cage and try to take him down. That's probably going to be Gaziev's game plan, especially because it's short notice, and he only has 2-3 days to kind of prepare for someone like Salsa Boy, who just picked up a knockout win. So what do you think he's going to do? He's going to try to take him down and do all of his work on the ground and tire out Salsa Boy at that point, because Gaziev's 265 pounds. You do not want a 265-pound man. At fight night, maybe even more, 290-pound man on top of you for 3 rounds. So as long as Salsa Boy's able to stay on the feet, he's absolutely the better fighter. Now, Salsa Boy right now is minus 158. He did come in. Money is coming in on Gaziev. I still do like Salsa Boy in this spot. I do. I really do. So give me Salsa Boy to win by decision. Next up, Tagir Ulambekov versus Kyoji Horiguchi. Now, Ulambekov is going to be 3 inches taller, 1 inch reach advantage, 1 inch leg reach advantage. As we all know, Tagir is on a pretty good, nice win streak at this point, honestly. I believe he's won 4 straight. Nate Menes, Cody Durden, Clayton Carpenter, and Azat Maksum. Those last 2 by decision, very great wins against Carpenter and Maxim. And now he's fighting Horiguchi, who's back in the UFC. A lot of you guys don't know who this is, to be honest, but he was a dog in the UFC. He was 7-1, ends up leaving, goes to Ryzen, just absolutely destructive on the feet. He's just destructive on the feet. His last loss was to Kaya Sakura, and then he ended up getting redemption and beating Kaya Sakura in under 3 minutes. Then he goes to Bellator, and he's fighting Sergio Pettis, and he's beating Sergio Pettis' ass. I mean, he's beating the bricks off of him, and then Sergio Pettis pulls off a spinning back fist out of nowhere, smokes him. Then he loses to Patchy Mix, goes back to Rise and gets a win. And then he's been on a nice win streak since that Patchy Mix loss. He's won 5 out of 6, 1 no contest, where he didn't take any damage because it was 25 seconds in. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like a war. And he's been active. His last fight was New Year's. Listen, it's been 11 months, but I mean, he's been pretty active over the years that he's been gone. On the feet, there's no question Horiguchi should absolutely smoke him. Probably going to be able to take down Tagir as well. But Tagir, very crafty on his back. He's going to be looking to find his way, scramble and find his way on Horiguchi's back as well. I'm just going to lean with who I think is the better fighter. On the feet, I think he's going to be able to land some takedowns as well. Give me Horiguchi. I know he hasn't fought in the UFC in a while. There's levels to this, whatever. Let's not act like Tagir's some like UFC like top 5 or something. He can absolutely beat Tagir at this point in both of their careers. People are saying Horiguchi's old. He's a year older than Tagir. Tagir's 34. I'm tired of people saying these Dagestanis are like 26 or something. Horiguchi right now, plus 172. I like that. Give me Kyoji Horiguchi to win by decision. Next up, Bogdan Grad versus Luke Riley. Now, Luke Riley is going to be an inch taller and have the 1 inch leg reach advantage, but Bogdan Grad is going to have the 1 inch arm reach advantage. Now, a lot of you guys don't know who Luke Riley is. 11-0, all in Cage Warriors. Trains with Patty. Probably his main sparring partner aside from other homie that we'll talk about soon. Picked up his last win in March by TKO. He has 8 wins by TKO, 3 wins by decision, and he's a slugger. He has absolute wars. He could be a bit sloppy. These Scousers, I mean, they don't move their heads. They don't move their heads ever, and that could be a problem. I just don't know if it'll be a problem against someone like Bogdan Grad. Bogdan Grad seems overall like a well-rounded fighter. Nothing too special. 1-1 in the UFC. He beat he beat Michael Aswell by split in Contender Series. Fire fight. Ends up beating Lucas Alexander in his debut, and then loses to Naimov. Was what I believe was he a favorite against Naimov? Well, regardless, I don't think Naimov is that special, to be honest. He's well-rounded, but he's kind of mid everywhere as well. Just wasn't able to get his offense going. Just made Naimov look too good. And when you make Naimov look too good, I just can't support you. Luke Riley, minus 280 right now. Not my favorite, because it's his debut, but I think he's the better fighter. I think that if they end up scrapping and going to war, I think Luke Riley can catch him with a head kick and put him down. Might not be a complete knockout, but could drop him and land some punches after and get that TKO win. But regardless, Luke Riley, he's a dog. He's probably will be one of the better contenders from now into the next 2 years. So give me Luke Riley to win by TKO or decision. Next up, Nicolas Dalby versus Saygid Izagakhmaev. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna call him Said. Said is gonna be an inch taller, same reach, and Dalby's gonna have the 1 inch leg reach advantage. Now, one thing about Dalby is, I mean, he's so durable in so many fights, and then gets absolutely cracked by Randy Brown. He's technically lost his last 2. He lost a split to Renat, where he definitely won that fight. But before that, he was on a 4-fight win streak, including Gabriel Bonfim, where he TKO'd him. Obviously, a lot of it had to do with Bonfim gassing, but it was a dumb game plan, and Dalby was still implementing his own offense. He gets cracked by Randy Brown last fight. Now, people, because of that, are siding with this Russian dude, because he's 31. He has 12 wins by sub, 4 by TKO. He's riding a 1-2, 5-fight win streak. His last loss was to Carlston Harris by Doris. Some of you will probably know who Carlston Harris was. And now he's fighting Nicolas Dalby, who obviously doesn't present too much danger on the ground. He's more of a durable point fighter. But I will say the last time he had an actual MMA fight was November 19th, right? It's November 20th. November 19th of 2022. I guarantee you don't even remember what you were doing that day. You probably don't even remember what job you had in 2022. That's the last time he had an MMA fight. I'm not going to back someone who has not had an MMA fight in 3 years. There's absolutely no way. I'm going to stick with Dalby. He's durable. If the Russian blows his load in the first round, Dalby will absolutely be able to win this fight just off pure grit. Now, he can get absolutely smoked in that first round. He can lose that first round, not stressing it. Dalby plus 3.5 might be just the play of the card. Dalby right now, he is plus 265. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm going to take a shot at Dalby. Absolutely, for this fight. Give me Nicolas Dalby to win by decision. Alex Perez versus Asu Almabayev. Now, Perez is going to be 2 inches taller, 1/2-inch reach advantage, 2-inch leg reach advantage. Now, Perez has had obviously a very weird career. He's always been super good, and then he just folds to the best or he gets injured. And he took some time off. He hadn't fought in since 2022 when he lost to Pantoja, when he got choked out. He comes back, he loses to Yakhyaev in a pretty decent spot there, beats the hell out of Nicolas, and then loses to Tyra, where he was beating Tyra in that first round, to be honest. Tyra kind of takes over in the second, and then he kind of smokes himself also. Tyra ends up winning by TKO, technically. But it looked like Tyra was starting to take over, but Alex Perez still an absolute dog on the feet. And he's facing someone in Almabayev, who is 5-1 in the UFC. Listen, he was 4-0, and then he gets TKO'd by Manel Kape. Now, Manel Kape was probably going to win that fight regardless, but, I mean, he just kept getting eye poked. Manel Kape is so dirty. I never want to see him around a UFC belt ever. And then he comes back, and he beats Jose Ochoa. Jose Ochoa is an absolute dog. Scrappy, fast, quick, just lightning speed. Alex Perez, probably more power on the feet, but definitely at this point a lot slower. I think Almabayev is just better at this point. He's 31. He's going to be able to probably out-grapple, Alex Perez, that's probably going to be his game plan. I would not want to stand with Alex Perez, to be honest. He's going to probably take him down, try to find a finish there, maybe even a TKO. I mean, we really don't know what Alex Perez is coming back, like how he's going to look from coming back. That was about a year ago, I believe, when that happened, right? June of 2024, like 15 months ago. I'm not loving that spot for Alex Perez. Almabayev right now is minus 215. Feels like the rightful spot. Would be probably closer if Perez had maybe picked up that win against Perez or against Tyra, or had he not been injured or coming back from injury from so long, if he had picked up another win before this. We don't really know what he's going to look like, which is why I'm going to lean with Almabayev. I think Almabayev is the better fighter at this point in their careers. Perez has just too much wear and tear to trust him. So give me Asu Almabayev to win by decision. Next up, Abdul-Rahkman versus Rafael Sakaria. Not going to spend too much time on this one. This is not one of those spots where Sakaria should shock the world. He's 11-3. He has not won a single UFC fight. He's 0-3, 2 TKOs, and then he lost to Julius Walker. And he's facing this 7-0 Turkish guy. He's 24, 3 wins by TKO, 3 wins by sub, 1 by decision. His last win was a 30-second knockout in Contender Series. This brother is going to kill him. Give me Abdul-Rahkman to win by knockout. Oh, sorry, I have to do the odds. I forgot. Minus 1,300. Give me Abdul-Rahkman to win by knockout or TKO. Next up, Beksan Almakan versus Alessandro Topuria. Tapturo. So they're going to be same height, same reach, and same leg reach. Beautiful. These are the fights that I love to talk about. But I'm not going to talk about this one too much, because there's only one rightful side here. Now, Beksan, 12-2, 1-1 in the UFC. He lost his debut to Umar. I mean, it is what it is. Smokes Brad Katana in a round. In a minute in the first round. Smokes Brad Katana. It was a beautiful uppercut. Beautiful. And he's fighting someone in Alexandre Topuria, who's 29. He's 1-0 in the UFC. Decision against Colby Thickness. Now, Colby did pick up a win after that against Musasa. Now it was a bit scrappy, you know. It was definitely a bit scrappy. He held his own, has a chin, and listen, he looked good against Topuria too. Thickness looked good against Topuria. I think there were some nerves there. Obviously, he's the older brother of Ilya. His first UFC fight, I think he was fighting kind of nervous. Obviously, only one loss in 2015. I think obviously on the feet, I would lean Maxim. I think he's probably quicker on the feet. I think Topuria is going to have to grapple, and I think he might be able to do it. I think he might be able to grapple him, take him to the ground, and try to find a choke there. The odds right now. Topuria, minus 142. He was minus 113, now he's minus 142. I wouldn't be surprised if those odds skyrocket to minus 160, 170, which I wouldn't love. But I would not be surprised if that were to happen. But give me Alexandre Topuria, Topturo, to win by submission or decision. Next fight, Ismail Nardiev versus Ryan Loder. Now, Ryan Loder is going to be 2 inches taller, have the 2-inch reach advantage, half-inch leg reach advantage. Now, Nardiev, 24-8, just a million losses in every way possible. 3-3 in the UFC. Most recently lost to Jung Yoon Park, Iron Turtle. Before that, 2 wins. One against Bruno Silva, his UFC debut. And then his last fight in Brave. We have Ryan Loder, who is also 1-1. He beat Robert Valentine in his UFC debut by ground and pound. And then he loses to Azamat Bekaev. Bekaev, who just fought that monster kickboxer and got TKO'd there, 2 weeks ago. Bekaev just super green, as we can tell. But also, Ryan Loder just didn't come with a good game plan for that fight. Ends up getting TKO'd. Now, I do like Ryan Loder. He was a dog against Valentine, so people already thought he wasn't going to make it really to the UFC or make it that far. He has 5 wins by TKO, 2 wins by decision. He has been TKO'd, no sub wins. But I think he might be able to take this to the ground. I think there's a chance he'll be able to take down Nardiev and probably try to TKO him there. If not, try to find that sub. Like I said, Nardiev has lost 2 fights by sub. And there was a point in 2022 he lost 2 in a row. He's won only 2 out of his last 5 fights. This dude should not be in the UFC. Ryan Loder right now is a dog, plus 112. I like that. I'm going to be on Ryan Loder. I'm a bit afraid because of the name, and they're in Qatar. I get it. But I like Ryan Loder. I think he'll be able to get it done in this fight. Give me Ryan Loder as a dog to win by submission. Next up, Nurullo Aliev versus Shamrock. Now, Shamrock's going to be an inch taller to have the 1 inch reach advantage, 5.5 inch leg reach advantage. Leg reach is going to be huge here. It's going to be huge here because, as you can see here, Aliev, look at that beard. Look at that beard. Do you see a mustache there? And do you see that nice leg reach advantage that Shamrock has? That brother is going to be shooting for his freaking life. He's going to be shooting for his freaking life, and I don't blame him because Mr. Shamrock trains with Paddy the Batty, has won 6 in a row. 6 out of his last 7, or he's 6-0-1, sorry. He's 6-0-1, which means 1 draw in his last 7 fights. Hasn't lost since 2021. But I'll be honest with you. I don't think this brother's that good. I'm just going to keep it straight with you. Aliev is 10-0. He's 2-0 in the UFC. He beat Rafael Alves, and then he beat Joe Selecki, both by decision. It's time that he picks up a nice, somehow maybe a TKO win. I think he's going to be able to take Shamrock down and just beat him up. If at the very worst, just cruise and take him to a decision. I don't think Shamrock's going to be able to get up, to be honest. I think it could be a close first round. He could even lose that first round. He's going to go, I'm going to stick to the wrestling, and I'm going to win this fight. I don't think Shamrock is just that good. The odds right now, Nurullo Aliev, minus 290. Odds are coming up because people are figuring out that Shamrock trains with Paddy. I'm sure people are going to put him and Luke Riley together. I get it. Luke Riley's the better fighter. I'll tell you that right now. Aliev right now, minus 290. Not a terrible one either. Not something I'm eyeing too much yet. Even if Shamrock were to win this fight, at some point, there will be a fade spot, and there will be a beautiful fade spot for him, trust me. But anyways, give me Nurullo Aliev to win by decision. And the first fight of the night, Marek Bujlo versus Denzel Freeman. Now, these are some big boys. Bujlo is going to be 3 inches taller. They're going to have the same reach advantage, and Bujlo is going to have the 1.5 inch reach advantage. These are some big boys, dude. I got to stop saying that. Bujlo, 6-0, undefeated, from Poland. Won his last fight in June by ground and pound. His last 3 fights, he's won by first round ground and pound. Something to point out, his opponents, when he was 0-0, he fought someone who was 1-1. When he was 1-0, he fought someone who was 0-2. When he was 2-0, he fought someone who was 2-6. 3-0, 6-4, 4-0, 13-12, 5-0, 3-5. His last win was against someone who's 3-5. Who's now 3-6. Oh, I'm sorry. Since then, he lost another fight. He's 3-7. He's lost 5 out of his last 6 fights, and 4 of those 5 losses have come by TKO. That's the dude. Jesus Christ. He looks like the guy from Despicable Me. That's his last win. And we have Denzel Freeman. He's 6-1, 4 wins by TKO, 2-0 in LFA, 1-1 in PFL. Ground and pound win where he ended up winning the belt in LFA in March of 2025. On a 2-fight win streak, has won 2 in a row, only lost 1 split decision against Pinson. Obviously, early fights as well. 1-1. He's fought some kind of mid. But when he was 4-1, he fought Asplin, who's 3-0. And his last win against Cunha, who's 8-3, 8-2, 8-3 now. Significantly better fighter. This brother's going to get pieced up by Freeman. Freeman has a lot of power on the feet as well. Freeman right now, minus 215. Feels like the fair spot. Feels very, very fair. Give me Denzel Freeman to win by knockout or TKO. And that covers UFC Qatar. Arman Tsarukyan versus Daniel Hooker. As always, I appreciate all the support. We only have very few cards left in this year. Really looking to expand the YouTube channel with more UFC content as well, obviously. But of course, we're at about like 700 something subs. Once we reach 1,000, so please sub. Once we reach 1,000, we will be doing a giveaway again. Follow all the other socials, and of course, if you want not just all of this early, but my personal plays on the card, not even just for the UFC, just a little kicker. In the NFL this season, we're up 9.95 units. That's not even the best one. The NBA, we've only had the NBA for less than a month at this point. We're up 19.92 units. If you're a $100 unit better, you're up $2,000 just in this month with the NBA with us. So of course, please join the Discord. It is only $14.99 a month. It is the cheapest Discord literally out there. I make more money than them, any other one. And I also run a promo where you get a free week. So you get 5 weeks in that first month essentially for the price of $14.99. You'll get this card for free, the NFL week for free, NBA, tennis, college basketball, you name it. So come lock in with us. I appreciate you all. I hope you guys have a wonderful, safe, blessed rest of your week. Hopefully I made you guys some coin. I'll make you guys some coin this week. Let's keep cashing.